are you? Hope you're having a good night. Well, I'm doing good. Just thought it was about time I did a live stream. I know you and Frankie are always live streaming, like, almost every week, so, I'm not on that much, but... Oh, you cooking? Yeah, what are you guys cooking? Tell Frankie I say hi. I just made some tomato sandwiches earlier. Oh, sweet and sour meatballs, yeah? Frank's not going with his usual sauce. Sweet and sour meatballs, eh? That's a good idea. That sounds good. Pumpkin cake with cream cheese icing. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I guess you guys are having your Thanksgiving tomorrow, eh? We had ours last month. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and to everyone out there who's celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be watching football. There's going to be a lot of football on tomorrow. Yeah, turkey tomorrow, yeah. Hope you enjoy it. Those are always good meals. Tell Frankie to, well, I'm going to ask Frankie his recipe when he goes live next time for the sweet and sour meatballs. I'll have to try that one time. I make my sauce with like barbecue, ketchup, a couple other things. But I wouldn't mind trying sweet and sour. Yeah, they're good, yeah. Yeah, I don't make my meatballs either. I usually buy them from the store. Seen some dragon fruit at the grocery store the other day. I was thinking about picking it up because I know Frank was showing it on his stream a couple weeks ago. I didn't end up getting it, but I've never had it before, so maybe I'll pick it up next time I'm in there if they still have some. I don't know. I don't know how much it was. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I know the store is expensive. Bright pink? Yeah, they gotta be bright pink. Alright. I'll look out for that. Yeah, Frank's got me curious to see how they taste now, since he had them on stream the other week. Oh, you're outside, yeah? Sure, the weather's still nice out there. It's starting to get pretty cold over here, geez. It's already started snowing. -2 tomorrow. Yeah, that's pretty hot, isn't it? Here it's been like hovering around 0, so it's getting cold. Well, today was nice. Today was like 4 or 5, so I think tomorrow's supposed to be nice. Yeah, and then it gets all mucky and brown and slushy. Yeah, I like the first snowfall. That's what I look forward to. Yeah. Are you originally from Florida, Trixie? Have you lived there your whole life? Yeah, I know, you get used to the warmth. Well, half your life, yeah. 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 Well, I've seen some people out in shorts, and guys out in shorts, and girls out in skirts, but it's been like, minus degrees. Ronnie! What's going on? Frankie! Hey now! You're cooking, Frankie? Yeah, go ahead and time her out. What, she doesn't have a wrench? Here, I'll give her a wrench. There, Trixie, there's your wrench. Getting craft from Frankie, Trixie. Yeah, well, give me a recipe for the sweet and sour meatballs, Frank. I'll have to test them out. No problem, Trixie. Are you getting a new guitar, yeah? Right on. Sunfish! What's happening? Yeah, the GTRs are nice, I know. I was watching your stream yesterday, Sunfish. I didn't feel like being in chat though. You guys were talking about fishing, and FU crew was telling the stories. Yeah, I was watching it for a bit. I was watching it. Still not getting notifications a lot, like, for every channel, but I don't know. But I'm always checking to see who's on, so that's how I've seen it. I know, he He was saying some pretty wild stuff, like spin around, eh? Or eating steak, eh? Yeah. I like a nice steak. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow, Sunfish. Cook up a big turkey. Strips, yeah. No, you don't do turkey, though. I like ham. Ham and turkey, yeah. Is it just gonna be you and Frankie tomorrow, Trixie? That's a nice car. I like those. The ᴘӷ쏘. That's a nice car. For 1 million, I'd get one of those. It's nice blue. Turkey for Christmas, yeah. Oh, you're not having Thanksgiving together, you know? Yeah, you going to see your grandkids and your daughter? That'll be good. That'll be good.
Did you know that Earth has two North Poles? There's the geographic North Pole, which never changes, and there's the magnetic North Pole, which is always on the move. And right now, it's moving faster than usual. Over the last 150 years, the magnetic North Pole has casually wandered 685 miles across northern Canada. But right now, it's racing 25 miles a year to the northwest. This could be a sign that we're about to experience something humans have never witnessed before.
The dog likes some of the ham.
A magnetic polar flip. And when this happens, it could affect much more than
kind of dog you got, Sunfish?
Right now on the surface of the planet, it looks like it's just a bar magnet, right? Our compasses are just pointing toward one pole at a time, because there's a dominant two-pole dipole system.
But sometimes, Earth doesn't always just have a single magnetic north and south pole. Evidence suggests that for hundreds to thousands of years at a time, our planet has had 4, 6, and even 8 poles at a time. This is what has happened when the magnetic poles flipped in the past. And when it happens again, it won't be good news for humans. Now you might think that 8 poles must be better than 2, but the reality is that multiple magnetic fields would fight each other. This could weaken Earth's protective magnetic field by up to 90% during a polar flip. Earth's magnetic field is what shields us from harmful space radiation, which can damage cells, cause cancer, and fry electronic circuits and electrical grids. With a weaker field in place,
the North and South Pole.
This could expose planes
and what happens
higher
if they
levels
flip,
of
Trixie?
radiation, making flights less safe. This could also disrupt the internal compass in many animals, which use the magnetic field for navigation. Even more extreme, it could make certain places on the planet too dangerous to live. But what exactly will take place on the surface is less clear than what will undoubtedly happen in space. Satellites and crewed space missions will need extra shielding that we'll have to provide ourselves. Without it, intense cosmic and solar radiation will fry circuit boards and increase the risk of cancer in astronauts. Our modern way of life could cease to exist. We know this because we're already seeing a glimpse of this in an area called the South Atlantic Anomaly. Turns out, the direction of a portion of the magnetic field deep beneath this area has already flipped, and scientists say that's one reason why the field has been steadily weakening since 1840. As a result, the Hubble Space Telescope and other satellites often shut down their sensitive electronics as they pass over the area, and astronauts on the International Space Station report seeing a higher number of bright flashes of light in their vision, thought to be caused by high-energy cosmic rays that the weaker field can't hold back. Since experts started measuring the anomaly a few decades ago, it has grown in size and now covers a fifth of Earth's surface, with no signs of shrinking anytime soon. This is so extreme that it could be a sign we're on the brink of a polar flip, or we may already be in the midst of one. But scientists remain skeptical, mainly because
the last thing the poles reversed was 780,000 years ago. So it's not, we don't have an oral record.
Turns out, 780,000 years is over double the time that Earth usually takes between flips.
Since the last mass extinction, there have been reversals roughly every 300,000 years.
So what gives? Well, scientists haven't figured it out yet. It's unnerving to think that our modern way of life, banking, the stock exchange, missile tracking, GPS, relies on the outcome of something we can neither predict nor control. One study went so far as to estimate that a single giant solar storm today could cost the US up to $41.5 billion a day in damages. And that's with the Earth's magnetic field at its current strength. It's frightening to even imagine the devastation a storm would bring to an Earth with a magnetic field only 10% as strong as it is now. We may not be able to stop a polar flip, but we can at least start to take measures to minimize the damage. The first step? Figure out what's going on with this wacky field. On the hunt are the European Space Agency's swarm satellites that are currently collecting the most precise data on the strength of Earth's magnetic field. Right now, they could be our greatest hope for solving this riddle.
Some pretty important stuff. Gotta hope for the best.
In the RV waiting to go inside.
Because I'm a gigolo, warrior, vampire, also known as an OGs. Spencer!
Hey guys, this video is unfortunately demonetized, and YouTube's been hitting me pretty hard lately. So if you want to support the show, go on over to buckinghamshop.com, buy some merch, or visit my Patreon to see some extended content. Hope you enjoy the episode.
You whippets and drive! Whoop whoop!
ᴛＧɁ killer.
I sucked a random guy's. Hey, whoop whoop, yo.
Shit! I just sue you! I am Charlie Brown! Stop that shit! Stop that shit! Stop that shit!
So as you know, this gathering, I want it to become a juggalo.
Yeah,
I got my
juggalos.
juggalo drip. I'm about to get my face painted. I'm going to get severely inebriated, and I'm going to get inside the mind of a juggalo. We got Alex back in the cut.
We're about to initiate a part of the Red Nose Squad. Do whippets and drive.
Woo woo! Alright, I remember you from last year, but for those that don't, what's your name?
Less legs.
You're a legend at the gathering, right?
I wouldn't say legend. I
Some
mean,
would say.
some would say, yeah.
What kind of style are you gonna paint my face?
Style, we call it red nose.
What would you say my vibe is? The vibe of my paint? Am I smiling? Am I
Look at
happy?
the contours of your face, honestly. That's how I think I want to really do.
So it's like anxious.
I guess you would say anxious, yeah. Very nervous, but also smile. You know what I'm saying? It's very reminiscent to the haha mustache, but it's in your smile. It's actually a portrait of your mom, but it looks like a dick.
To get inside the mind of the juggalos, I gotta start doing some whippets, you know what I mean? Like it's a core tenet of being a juggalo, you gotta have the cracker and the whippets. Very good. I wanna do another one. I wanna do more. I'm legitimate. I look like a juggalo. That's good. Dude, if anyone questions my gangster, I'm gonna swing on them.
I got these here. So I don't know what.
Ooh, good sizzle. That tight little sizzle. A true juggalo OG like myself. I do it raw, straight to the lips. That's not a real juggalo. That's a fake juggalo.
No way I can take this whole thing, bro. It's fucking massive.
But yeah, we got the rain coming in.
Dude,
That's OT, bro. Like a frozen crystal went into my lip and then melted. I felt it. I got shrapnel from that.
My dad would be so proud. I should have stayed as a school teacher instead of quitting my job. I regret my decisions. I'm a failure.
but really, we're having a good time right here at the gathering. Just getting crispy off these suckers. Brandon in. It's a juggalo lifestyle, so I'm here drinking this orange Fago. I got that drink, I got that syrup, and I pull up the bowl like a real juggalo. You know what I'm saying? That's a real deal out here, Lucille. About to be nano infused up here. Juggalo lifestyle, woo woo. THC sipping syrup, peach crescendo. No cap, for real. Boston, I pulled the fuck up on that, did I not? He said there was 24 doses in this.
It's 1,000 milligrams.
I at least did like 2 fifths of it.
Might be nut in there, bro.
Nano infused.
Might be some nut in there.
It was kind of light, didn't it? I'll hit it with it.
Appreciate you. You need your love, brother.
Hey, that was interesting. I love juggalos. Drink a little bit of that. Me? Yes, just drink a little bit. It'll be fun. I'm about to be lit. What do you want to say to your fans out there?
Fuck it, whoop whoop. I'm glad we're getting some love out here tonight.
I'm like feeling like I'm gonna be so hot.
I'm scared. Do we know where we park?
No.
I'm Scavenger. I'm a wicked clown. If you don't know my name, you're not from underground.
Yeah.
Don't diss or I'll punch you in the face and down.
Explain the fit to This Is Magnificent.
Alright, well, first off, I was sick and tired of people boasting about, gatekeeping. I was like, okay, so everybody wanted to bitch about gatekeeping, so I brought a gatekeeper. So I decided to take two things I love, which was Dark Lotus and Warhammer, throw it together. So, Brother Jug of Lotus, wielding thine hatchet spread, jumps already beware, whoop whoop, and Lotus!
Alright, boom, so it's 2 a.m. We're at the Gathering of Juggalos 2022. I have a special guest that'll be arriving soon.
A lot of brands, they don't want to work with me. But there is one special brand that's back for another ad deal. And that's Vance Global. They have delicious Delta 8 gummies that ship in all 50 states in the U.S. And not only does Vance Global love me, but my neighbors love me too. It's amazing. And I love Vance Global's delicious, non-addictive CBD cigarettes. That's not good, just ignore that. I'm bleeding. Vance Global's Delta 8 gummies are a great alternative to cannabinoids. And they're vegan made with pectin, fruit flavor, and delicious. Vance Global's THCO Vances are hand-rolled into hemp paper and
topped with a biodegradable wood fiber filter. They avoid the use of bleach and white papers and traditional filters that are bad for the environment
and our bodies. Got me. The serving size is 1 gummy, but depending on your tolerance, you might want to take a few more. Whoa! Did you hear that knock on the door? Yo, go to vanceglobal.com right now and use code COLD-20 at checkout, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
Now we're gonna go see how we jet.
Well, last year, if I'm not mistaken, you learned what it was to be a juggalo. This year, you're gonna learn what it is to become a juggalo, correct?
Full-fledged assimilation.
Hey, look at his face. He's basically one of them.
So we've been playing party today too, and I've damn near not been conscious most of the time. How's your gathering going?
It's going pretty good, bro. My fucking balls are a little chafed and shit. It's fucking hot out here like last year. But I didn't have to perform at 1 o'clock in the daytime, so.
What does it take to become a juggalo?
I think there's a difference between people that are at home and listen to music and people that come here. Because people that come here are the same people every year. There might be some new people, but it's like a real fucking community out here, bro, for real. I know these people, but I don't know these people.
Fucking gathering 260 Juggalo, whoop whoop, motherfucking nobody.
Are you a cop?
No.
He said no. If you are a cop, you have to tell them by law.
I'm a YouTuber, I'm not a cop.
What's your name?
Brandon.
Is that your YouTube channel, Brandon?
Brandon Buckingham, yeah.
You need a much better name for your YouTube channel if you're gonna do this kind of stuff, bro.
It might not ever work out.
Take that shit! Take that shit! Take that shit!
Let's go! Let's go, bro!
That's so excited.
That was sick, bro. I'll fuck with that.
That was so crazy, bro. That was brave of him.
Every time he has to poop, this is it, bro.
You're back, bro.
Round 2.
What's good, bro?
Break it down for us.
Wickedwood and Buckingham, we're fucking family, bro. He's one of us now.
How's your gathering going?
Dude, we were rocking main stage, bro. This is the gathering of dreams, yo. It's crazy as fuck. I fucked a bitch in an RV bathroom. It was crazy. Like, it was so tiny. And I'm just like... But it was lit though, you know what I'm saying? I got some dome in like the little hallway part, and then we started fucking in the hallway, but then it got a little bit too loud, and I was like, yo, bitch, let's go in this little tiny fucking bathroom. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the leader of Wickedwood, and I'll kill you.
How was it shitting in that bucket?
It's invigorating.
You're really good at it. You're really good at it.
Buck nasty in this bitch.
Did you turn this dollar into a poop dollar?
Yeah.
So right now it's just $1, right?
So I'm gonna touch my shit.
So there's the poop dollar, freshly pooped on. This is a real trap in real time. Who will pick up the poop dollar? Whoa. How you doing today, sir?
Good. You want to see my dick?
We're gonna have to blur it for YouTube, but
Oh, that ain't no fun.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have the uncensored OnlyFans one?
So I got him to make a poop dollar on camera, bro.
He made a poop.
Yeah, he put the dollar into the poop and smeared it.
What is this place? Jet's all excited. Yeah, I got him to make one.
it's just funny, bro.
How's your gathering going?
How do you think it's going?
Good.
Crazy.
What have you been getting into?
Concerts, alcohol, Halloween, no whippets.
Why no whippets?
Shit's bad for you, dude. Put oxygen in your brain, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Fireball, that's a different story, right?
Still fucked up for you. Just not to the brain. Love y'all.
Woo.
Killer. I got Ouija Mac's fucking jersey on stage, boy. And I would really love for him to sign this motherfucker, too. So if Ouija Mac watches this, fucking sign this shit for me, dog.
Whoa! Hey.
That's real live weed?
It's real live weed.
It smells delicious.
Take some for the YouTubes.
For the YouTubes?
For the YouTubes, yes.
Whoa, thank you. Giving out handfuls of weed. We'll just stuff some weed in the fanny, I guess. That's why you gotta get cold ass riding fanny packs, you guys. What up, bro?
Armada.
We got the Juggalos in the cut. We're whoop whooping.
Whoop whooping. Gotta tell me what the whoop whoop is.
It's the Juggalo battle call, man. Whoop whoop. It's like we're family, you know what I'm saying? I whoop whoop at you, you whoop whoop at me. Let's be know everything's
So if they don't whoop whoop back at you, they don't like you.
Yeah, it could be bad blood, you know what I'm saying? They all do whoop whoop. No, he didn't hear me. Whoop whoop, right? There it is. See? It's crazy to see you guys here.
Good to see you too, man. It's been a while. Last time I seen you throwing up.
I feel a lot better now. 2:30 a.m. at the Gathering of the Juggalos, man.
I keep on calling it Gigolo. What is Gigolo? I feel like Gigolo's ass.
Gigolo's like a male escort.
Oh, wow. My bad. Okay, I'm not saying that. Juggalo.
This guy had a bucket and like literally just took a shit right in the middle.
He's that guy still in the vicinity. Let's interview him. Sir, I wasn't here for it, but I heard that you shit in a bucket.
You got the wrong guy, but next time I got a shit, it's going right there.
Let us know so we can get it on footage. Oh, you're the shitty booty dude. We heard that you took a dump in a bucket. Is it true?
I'm done with this shit, man. I'm tired.
4K. No balls. No shit in the bucket again. No balls.
Shit in the bucket.
Shit in the bucket. Shit in the bucket. Shit in the bucket. Shit. Bro, why didn't you tell me about this earlier?
This place is insane.
This is literally amazing.
They all love it too. Like, no one even questions it. They just go. This is the main road. Tell us a little bit about your attire.
Nothing. I'm fucked up on Molly and I'm wearing nothing.
How does it feel to have your dick out right now?
Feels great. Feels like the gathering.
Can you like tell some people at home that might be sad like how to make themselves cheer up and be happier?
Remember, someone always has it worse off than you. Some people always have it better, so look at what you have and don't focus on what you don't have.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the smallest penis. I don't see a lot of penises.
There's a little bit left to be desired, right?
So maybe he's a girl, not a short, you know.
I fucking hope.
So why are they like so infatuated about like booty stuff?
I don't know, bro.
Bro, I literally can't even monetize this video.
Well, yeah.
This cannot be healthy. And I know people are not staying hydrated.
Thank God. The Juggalos for Jesus keep everybody fed and hydrated.
Yeah. Juggalos for Jesus. What's that?
It's like Juggalos that represent Jesus that keep the Juggalos like safe and healthy, and we'll talk to them if they're having a mental crisis and steer them in the right direction.
So while someone's having like a drug
drug-induced psychosis,
they literally teach them the word of God.
Yeah, they put the Lord in their hearts. They'll smack them out of it.
Look at here, boy, cool. The Lord loves you.
Scrub the paint off your face.
Go to church.
Repent.
What would you say the difference between a juggalo and me is?
Nothing. It's family, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gang. Juggalo killer. So the 1990s hip hop group Onyx is playing. They're literally hip hop legends. Just me and Juggalo Jet posted up in the RV waiting to go inside.
Because I'm a gigolo, warrior, vampire, also known as an OG, Spencer. When in Rome, you died with the Roman, and this is all the Romans have been eating.
A little Roman fucked me in my ass.
We're Rolling Loud 2012, you guys. We've been in the pit all night. It's super cool, 3 a.m. We're so excited to be here with you guys and have fun with you guys. And we love you guys, and...
Wait, I'm not done.
It's funny because you don't really have to say what day it is. You just have to look at your degeneration of the makeup throughout the video. I've sacrificed a lot for this episode. Yeah. What a bad place. One more.
Dude.
One more.
Are you serious? No, we gotta
go. Then we gotta actually really go.
After these two more that I agreed to do. Then we gotta go right away.
Just one more.
Get the mud in the car.
Bro, this shit's crazy, bro. Someone did a backflip knee drop at the same time. I've never seen nothing like this before.
We got the homie right here. He's leaking.
I've been leaking for like the entire stunt show.
How's your wound feel?
It's just poopers, honestly. That's a secret.
So how's this whole car thing gonna work? They're just gonna hit him with the car, or he's gonna stand on the ladder?
He's gonna stand on the ladder, and then he's gonna do a gainer over the car.
Crazy Mike's supposed to ride a bike at the car, last second ditch it, just barely get out of the way. I'm supposed to just straight get hit by the fucking car, hopefully roll up and over.
Let him get hit by the car! I just want to see him get hit. Oh, shit! Why wouldn't they let the car hit that dude?
Just fuck the police, you know what I mean?
My soul's a little hurt that we couldn't do our hard hit stunt.
You wanted to get hit by that car?
I did. I'm addicted to doing things that scare me. I took a lot of drugs in my life, but the greatest high in life is doing something that scares the shit out of me.
How's the gathering?
It's been the craziest fucking year ever that we've seen. Literally, day after day after day. Crazy shit popping off for no fucking reason.
I did a dick sucking contest. I sucked a random guy's dick in front of like a bunch of people. He didn't come though. He had a little dick anyways. Oink oink little bitches, you can suck my fucking cock.
I wanted to see Homeboy get hit by a car.
You didn't do it yet?
Nah, the cop shut it down.
Catch us at Shankside campsite being boiled, you heard?
Big E, Shankside OG. Or I'm gonna get sturdy.
You should have seen what they did earlier. It was actually ridiculous. He had like a sheet of glass, and he had his chest out, and they had the lawnmower. And they went like this and broke the glass, and they cut his chest.
Why?
I don't know.
Stop! Don't do that. Don't do that. Look at the crowd. The crowd fucking loves it. This poor guy's balls is a sacrifice to their entertainment. No. No. Oh my god. Oh. Why, dude? Jesus Christ.
Are you not scared?
No, it's the Juggalos, bro. Woo woo. No. He just took a slap chop to his ball sack. Oh, who takes a slap chop to the ball sack? Tim, is he okay?
Yeah!
Now he's kissing his dick. He's literally kissing his penis. His bloody penis. They're putting tacks. They're putting tacks. They got another ladder.
What are they about to do?
They're about to jump off this ladder onto the tacks.
Oh my god, this is fun to watch.
This shit is crazy, yeah. Superhuman. It's superhuman. Superhuman. Yeah. Do it. Give us the post-fight interview. How was that?
Fucking hurt like a bitch, dude.
Yeah, it looked like it. You have tacks in you, hold on. Let me remove some of these tacks from you. What do you want to say to your fans?
I love you guys. Fuck this shit, motherfuckers.
Juggalo killer! How's your chest feel from that weed whacker?
It hurts like a fucking son of a bitch, man.
What compels someone to take a weed whacker to the chest?
I mean, sometimes your girlfriend cheats on you, you know? What can you do? It's all about the pain.
That was pretty cool. What up, gang? How you doing? What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm just ready to rock and roll, man.
What's the gathering?
Facts, man. I'm just ready to get the shit done.
How do your balls feel?
Just a little sore.
That mic like dead stopped right on your nutsack.
Let me call on my face.
What are you gonna say to your fans?
Do what you love to do, and if it's dangerous, fuck it.
Oh shit, they're smashing the car. They're about to flip this car. Yo!
I got the nigga's gas can.
Take home on.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I got a souvenir. Crazy ass story.
What did you think about seeing the car flip?
Fan fucking tastic.
I'm throwing a fucking calling out to the fake ass Charlie Brown. I'm calling that motherfucker out. You meet me in the cage tonight or wherever we can meet, and it's fucking on. I am Charlie Brown, and I will fight for the crown of Blair. I am Charlie fucking Brown.
How's your gathering going?
It's going great, man.
You want to explain it to me?
This is ᴛɪ괱ɪᴛɪᴜ mixed with Simba. This is Simbasha. Here I am, and the whole fam loves it.
Are you fast as fuck?
Oh man, like I'm everywhere. Everybody always sees me everywhere. It's like, oh man, I've been seeing you everywhere, man. Everywhere you go, man, I see you everywhere.
I feel like you can run like a 4-minute mile.
You should have seen me yesterday. I was in boots, like running and stuff like that. I was like, holy shit, man. How in the world, like, am I still having this energy? I mean, even though I'm like 30 years old. A lot of people say I don't look it, but yeah. But
how is it being 30 years old?
It's not the new 20, that's for sure. Whoever said that shit is a lie.
Go! You guys see anything crazy?
We were just at a fucking dick sucking competition a little bit ago.
What was that like?
That was fucking wild, dude.
Was it a competition to see who could make someone come the quickest?
Yes, and no one could. Which I don't really fucking blame the guy. I mean, I fucking offered him afterwards. I got a cock ring in my pocket, you know?
Just in case you need it, right?
It's my first gathering. You gotta bring a cock ring.
Yeah, so you have it.
Exactly.
So the people that watched the video last year and they still weren't convinced that the Juggalos are good people, they have a bad idea of them in their mind. What do you want to say to them?
We are a hyper-alert community. We do not believe in harm of any child. We don't care what color, what age. If we find out about it, it will be on your head. We don't fuck around with evildoers. If you are infected with greed, we're not for you. We might not fit in absolutely everywhere, but we're good neighbors to have. We don't believe in thievery. We believe in kindness. If you need your lawn mowed, we'll come over and help you. Everyone whose minds were open, thank you, and we welcome you. But everyone who is yet to change, we're waiting for you.
That's my bitch, and she belongs to me. We work 60 hours a week, and we get 1 week a year to be us, and this is us.
Overtime.
We work overtime, it's how to make a living nowadays. You can't pay bills working 40 hours, fuck that shit.
How is it being his bitch?
I love being his bitch.
The best part about it?
Right, because he's my master. He tells me what to do and how to do it.
You like that?
Yes, I do.
What about that brings you joy?
Orgasms.
Give us a pro tip for the people at home that can't make their girlfriends have orgasms.
Ask her what she wants, and if you can't find out what she wants, just stick your finger in there just right. You'll find a button. Change your world. Change your fucking world.
How you doing? How's your gathering?
I'm fucking gathering hard. Did some acid and mushrooms the first night, a little bit of Molly. Did you help flip the car?
I was right next to it.
For Indiana, they burned a couch. Were you there?
Nah, last year was my first gathering.
Oh, no shit. You too, man. You burning button. I don't know who the fuck you are. Who the fuck you are? Are you from Kazakhstan?
I'm from Kazakhstan, yeah.
What is this YouTube you speak of?
YouTube. Explain your attire.
I'm Laura, and you don't know company experience reporter? You're not from company, you liar! I call you out on your lies. I'm going to sue you and the entire production company. You will pay for being a liar for the country of Kazakhstan.
Always go to the gathering. If you're not here, you're fucked up and you're missing out. Fuck off.
Alright, have a good one. Is this like a fetish thing?
Kind of not. My puppy.
What does being a dog mean to you?
Being free, being wild.
Shit and piss where you want?
I mean, I don't do that. I still use the shitter, you know what I'm saying?
Do you bark? That's almost like a dog version of whoop whoop. What does your sign say?
Looking for a female or athlete addiction.
How's that affected your life?
Tragic. I need it now.
How could be slaughtering that anus?
Oh, hell yeah.
What's it like to get up in so many asses, Pat?
Pretty dark.
Do you actually spit in people's mouth?
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich in someone's mouth, and they paid me for it.
You like doing that?
It's the first time.
Does it like boost your ego to step and spit on somebody?
Absolutely, yes.
It's like Big Dog?
Very empowering.
And Tommy G knows Big Dog's gotta eat, right?
Hell yeah.
Do you want to show us something crazy for the camera?
I sure do. What do you want me to show you? Do you want me to spit? Can we get somebody to let me spit in their mouth?
Does anybody want her to spit in their mouth? Who wants to get spit on? Hey! My man, you're saving the day.
He's like a good little boy.
Ooh, damn. How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Woo woo. Woo woo. How was that for you?
Thank you. That was great. I fucking love spitting in people's mouths. Huge fetish.
Are you into sploshing too?
I do it. I actually had to cover myself in peanut butter for a video for a custom. Full peanut butter all over my
I'd
fucking...
love to dump a gallon of milk on your head.
Whoop whoop.
Are you Elton John?
I am the goth Elton John.
Okay.
Of Detroit.
Are you as gay as the real Elton John?
Maybe gayer.
Who would suck a better dick, you or Elton John?
I feel like I've got not as much experience probably, but I've got a little bit more youth on my side in the
Would you
joke.
beat his ass?
If it was a consensual agreement.
Do what the wheel says, you get a free beer. We got a spinner at the beer wheel.
good spin.
It's a butt crack beer, so
You gotta drink beer off somebody's asshole.
So sorry. I'll give you $20, but I have to forfeit. I'm so sorry.
lay down and get your free beer so that I don't have to ridicule you off my lawn and shit.
Brandon, please,
Ain't no way I'm doing that. Ain't no way I'm doing that. You clickbaited, bro. You clickbaited.
Dude, you said it was fun.
He didn't say nothing about maybe you'll have to drink fucking beer out of a woman's ass.
Hey, what do you have to do? What are the good results?
I don't think any of them are good.
Don't gather if you can't bong a beer off a bitch's crack. Whoa, whoa.
$5 titty grab, $6 ass slap. Don't you care about black people?
I do, but
Prove it.
I
Prove
need
it.
money to get home.
I'll grab your titties. That probably weighs damn near 20 pounds right there, bro.
That was only one, bro.
Look at that. Whoa! I thought they knocked somebody out. Look at him jumping and flopping around.
What the fuck? One of the Idol boys just DM'd me.
What he said?
He said, yo.
I feel like they're kind of juggalos, don't you feel like that?
I'll be like, yo, where you at over here?
You at the gathering? So, I feel like the people at home are just as surprised as we were the Gideon Juggalo crossover.
Nah, man, Brandon was telling me about it, and I watched this video, and this video, like, it was a little crazy, but it was, like, a little chill, you know? But then coming out here and actually seeing it, like, you guys need to subscribe to his Patreon, man, because it's some crazy shit happened while we've been out here.
Nah, some of it you definitely can't put on YouTube.
And we're not just saying that to take y'all money, like, deadass. We'll get assassinated by Susan if he posts this on YouTube.
Bro, they know I would rather just put it on YouTube.
The dick sucking competition, nobody can make anybody come. No homo, I feel like Brandon can make someone come.
Nah, I feel like that's facts. I feel like, oh my dad, I feel like that's facts.
I seen a woman stand over a man and pee in his mouth.
Yeah, I can't believe you just said that.
I can't believe I saw it.
We're back. This is the last day of the gathering of the Juggalos. We have Alex from last year, Do Whippets and Drive guy. You remember him?
Do Whippets and Drive. High octane behavior. Oda Nobunaga.
I'm from France, and my big brother, he introduced me to your channel.
Yeah.
And that's so fun because I didn't know you were covering the gathering.
Your man's international now.
Yeah.
It's Mankini, isn't it?
It is Mankini.
How's the gathering 2022 been?
This has been my gathering of dreams. A lot of the world looks at us and they go, man, what the hell goes on there? And there's people like you who go, man, well, let me at least see what it's like in there.
Yeah, give him a chance.
And then all of a sudden you find out, I think I'm home.
I think we're about to meet with Shaggy Tudo, one of the founders of ICP. Nice to meet you. I'm Brandon Buckingham.
I ain't slept maybe like but 2 hours so far. I'm about to fall asleep live on here for the microphone. If you're having a shitty time, do you sleep?
No.
Or if you're having a good time, you want to go sleep?
Yeah, you want to stay awake.
I ain't slept. You don't want to fucking sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't speak properly right now. Has nothing to do with the fucking crack I smoke.
Smoke it if you got it, right?
Right, yeah. Don't be stingy neither. You share that shit. If you got a rock and rock, you share it with your partner crackheads. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Why is he getting the fights?
Juggalo lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know, there's rumors this is the last gathering. Is that true at all?
I don't know where the fuck that rumor came from. No. That's what, I don't know who started that.
Not true.
Yeah, it's not true. It's not fucking true. Never is. We ain't never fucking go nowhere. We're gonna be up in this motherfucker until the next fucking millennium. 3000, year 3000. What is it right now? 2020? Something like that. So we got another fucking good 100 years before year 3000. We're gonna be running shit.
We're gonna get you cryogenically frozen. You're gonna come back in year 3000.
I don't need to. I'm getting my body mummified.
There it is.
So I'm good. I'm gonna get Fago pumped in for my blood. And I'm good to go. I'll look mad wrinkly like a mummy, but I'll still be kicking it.
There you go, IV.
You can't be 3,000 years old and look that good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what do you say to people out there that don't understand the Juggalo movement?
I say, then don't fucking try. Keep out of it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you ain't into and you're scared of it, stay the fuck away from it. We ain't here pushing it on your face, you know what I'm saying? I didn't call you, motherfucker, but you're all invited, you know what I'm saying? So you can come and see how dope Juggalos are.
What does it mean to be a Juggalo to you?
No rules, man. Be yourself. Fuck what other people think. I mean, I can go on for hours with different examples. You might want to stick your finger in somebody's butt. I don't know. It's up to you. But do it, because you don't give a fuck about what this guy right here thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Juggalo Jet.
When you guys first started, your first gathering, what was the turnout?
It was fucking great. I don't remember the exact number. I'll be honest with you. The first gathering, we didn't know what the fuck it was going to be. We didn't know. We just advertised something big's going to happen on this date. We're like, fuck, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? So we're like, okay. We didn't even call it a festival. I don't know what the fuck we called it. We was going to put on a couple-day concert because festivals weren't popping like that back then. So we did this shit. It was at a convention hall in Michigan, like right by where our warehouse and offices were and shit like that. And the fucking sold out all that shit. We did 3 songs in a set and they got overran. The fucking stage got destroyed. So we couldn't even do our show. But it was mayhem. It was crazy. We were like, that's what it is.
A dick-sucking competition.
I unfortunately seen a little bit of footage of that. And
saw the same video.
That was not endorsed or put on by Psychopathic Records in any fashion. That was put on by some ninja getting his dick sucked.
Yeah.
That's what that was. It's a public dick sucker. What are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, so my goal this gathering was to become a juggalo, and you're kind of like the master of the juggalo. So do I get the green light? Am I a juggalo now? I need the cosign.
Oh.
I need the shiny two cosign that I became a juggalo. I got the merge, I got the face paint.
We're going to do like, well, no, the face paint's almost gone. But we're going to do like this. You got to stand right here. Stand right there, okay? And put your hand like this. We're going to do like Hogan and Randy Savage back in the day before they shook hands. All right? So you're not sure if you want to shake my hand or not, but you're thinking about it. Now we're going to dig in and we're going to do it, all right? So we're like thinking about it.
There it is. It's official.
Yeah, it's official.
Great, you're about to name a juggalo.
Get here so you can be a juggalo too, motherfucker. I just wanted to bring these gentlemen up right now just so perhaps you get a little bit used to their faces because there might be a little chance that me and Keegan might be doing some work with these fellas. So
yeah,
we just wanted you to see these guys and see what's up, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Every week we travel America talking to people all across the country, and the gathering is some of the coolest, most fun and entertaining people that we come across. So
yeah,
I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. All right, and who's the homie over here?
I'm Jed Knapp.
What's the most destructive weapon that you've ever imagined? Well, take that and multiply it by 100. Because right now, we'll show you the 15 scariest military weapons that you won't believe exist. Grab your bulletproof vest and your alarm systems, because these weapons are some serious business. Remember to stay until the end to find out about all these outstanding weapons. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to receive more awesome content like this. Let's get started. Number 15. Phaser. The Personnel Halting and Stimulation Response Rifle was created as a non-lethal weapon for soldiers and law enforcement officials for hostile situations. In the past, blinding laser weapons have been tested, but were banned under the 1995 UN Protocol on Blinding Laser Weapons, which the United States acceded to on 21 January 2009. Even though the phaser rifle has a temporary blinding effect and low-intensity laser, it's not prohibited under this regulation. It also uses a 2-wavelength laser. This rifle fires lasers into the enemy's eyes and blinds them temporarily. The weapon uses a rangefinder to make sure the lasers aren't too intense. It renders people extremely disoriented at inopportune moments. Number 14. Smart Bullet.
The D-shaped bullet contains a microsensor that detects acceleration and deceleration.
The Smart Bullet was designed to have ultimate control. It can turn, speed up, slow down, and even send data back to the user. The bullet is 4 inches long and has small fins, making it look like a dart. The shooter operates it by shining a laser at its target, and the bullet will follow the target without being deterred by strong winds. One type of Smart Bullet is a projectile that can change its course during flight. One use of this would be to enable soldiers to stay behind protective cover and shoot around corners. Another implementation uses a spoiler and a micro gyro to control the bullet. Isn't that scary? Number 13. The Dora Cannon. Developed by Nazis during World War II, the Gustav Dora Cannon, or merely the Dora Cannon, weighed 2.7 million pounds and was considered a super weapon. The cannon could fire shells up to 14,000 pounds and had a range of 90 miles. It was the world's most massive gun, heavy and complicated. The world's largest Dora ensemble is in the Military History Museum in the Bundeswehr in Dresden. Number 12. Vomit Gun.
Non-lethal weapon that induces hallucinations and vomiting among enemy combatants has been fitted to 2 Russian warships.
Even though it may sound ridiculous, the vomit gun was very, very real. The Navy supported its development, and it was designed to be a non-lethal weapon. The vomit gun can use radio waves to penetrate walls, and as the waves reach the victims will feel dizzy and may get the urge to vomit. Though the military eventually abandoned the project, 2 other people were able to make a vomit gun out of spare computer parts successfully. Number 11. The XM25 Smart Grenade Launcher. Nicknamed by the Afghan soldiers as the Punisher, the XM-25 smart grenade launcher was designed in 2010 for the United States troops in Afghanistan. It's gas-operated and semi-automatic, and it features a ballistic computer, environmental sensors, and a digital compass. It can fire 25mm shells up to 2,300 feet, and soldiers can eerily program the shells to explode at any time. Number 10. The Corner Shot. The Corner Shot is a weapon explicitly designed so that the enemy will never see your eyes. A miniature camera and LCD screen sub in for the gunner's eyes as the front half of the rifle bends around corners to shoot targets without the operator having to come into the open. It works by mounting a semi-automatic pistol to the hinged front half with remote linkage to the trigger at the rear and can swivel through a 120-degree range. Number 9. The Trophy Active Defense System. On their own, tanks are frightening machines. So what could make these heavily armored vehicles any more unstoppable? How about an invisible force field? Okay, the Trophy Active Defense System isn't literally a force field, but it's as close as any countermeasure has yet come. The ADS can detect rocket-propelled grenades and other low-tech munitions in time to target and return pinpointed fire, destroying the munitions in mid-air. The ADS is capable of tracking multiple targets in nearly any direction, rendering tanks with the equipment roughly bulletproof. Number 8. Metal Storm. Metal Storm is an Australian company that's been developing a line of weapons that use stacked projectiles. Stacked projectile weapons are different from traditional guns as they have no moving parts. Instead of loading a bullet into a chamber and having a mechanism such as a hammer initiate its firing, the Metal Storm weapons use electronics to control the firing sequence. Bullets are tightly lined up within the gun. They're packed between an explosive fuel, and the result of which is a weapon that can fire at a much higher rate than a traditional automatic. One bullet enters the barrel before the last is left, which creates a torrent of ammunition with firepower, just like a high-powered comic book-style laser. Number 7. Cyborg Moths. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, has been working to develop cyborg spy moths. DARPA, the research arm of the Department of Defense, has already successfully implanted chips in cockroaches and rats, allowing humans to drive the animals with joysticks. In the case of moths, the chip will be inserted at the pupal stage so that the animal grows around it and develops a reliable tissue-machine interface. The spy moth will then be released at the front lines and remotely piloted into enemy territory, potentially beaming back video and audio feeds along the way. Number 6. The Navy's Railgun. The Navy is exploring the possibilities of trading the explosive energy of conventional warheads for kinetic energy using simple projectiles. It may sound like a step backward, but when you see the prototype railgun in action, firing a 7-pound shell at 7 times the speed of sound, you start to understand the power generated by tremendous acceleration. With the finished product, a 5-meter target can be hit from 200 nautical miles away. Number 5. Active Denial System. The United States Air Force has borrowed a page out of the Marines naming convention's book with a device more commonly known as the heat ray. The heat ray looks like a nondescript satellite dish mounted on the back of a military-grade news truck, but instead of gathering and focused radio waves coming in, the weapon focuses millimeter waves, similar to microwaves but shorter, and sends them out. The effect of these waves against human skin produces a sensation of intense burning, in which people are reportedly only able to stand for a few seconds. The military claims the waves penetrate the skin by only 1/64th of an inch and cause no lasting damage. However, the system is still in the early stages and is yet unproven in the field. Number 4. Airborne Laser. The Air Force is on its way to having a modified 747 ready as early as 2009 to shoot down missiles from the sky with, you guessed it, a massive laser. Known as the Airborne Laser, the craft will house a multi-megawatt chemical oxygen iodine laser capable of hitting a target many hundreds of miles away. At its core, it's the same basic technology as found in a drugstore laser pointer, only 1 billion times more powerful. While the aircraft was scheduled for its first live target test in 2009, the laser and the airplane have yet to be tested together. Number 3. Pigeon Projected Missiles. Another project called Project Pigeon was an effort to create a pigeon-guided bomb. The birds were trained using B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning to home in on a target shown on a screen and then peck at it when they found it. The project was scrapped in 1944 and then revived in 1948 under the name Project Orcon. Eventually, newer electronic guidance systems proved to be more valuable. An exhibit at the American History Museum in Washington, D.C. details the history of this avian instrument of war. Number 2. The Pentagon's laser-induced plasma effect weapon. The Pentagon is working on a weapon that uses lasers and plasma to transmit sound files, even human speech, directly to individual people at great distances. The lasers could be beamed down from military planes or other vehicles to issue instructions to disperse crowds of protesters or otherwise disgruntled people in the area. Number 1. The Air Force's Counter Unmanned Aircraft System Tech. The laser weapon, which can be mounted onto the back of a vehicle, is designed to help the Air Force take down hostile drones. The laser itself can fire dozens of shots per charge, according to Raytheon, but the Air Force could also hook it up to a generator to deliver a nearly infinite number of shots, the contractor said. We hope you enjoyed our list of the 15 scariest military weapons. Which of these weapons was scarier to you? Don't hesitate to comment down below. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to...
Now here's a topic that's easy to swallow. How drug companies make the pills we take. It's a carefully monitored process in which quality control is paramount. So stand by. We're going to give you a taste of your own medicine, or at least what goes into making it. Medications are essential in the treatment of illnesses. It begins by a grinding process, where the active ingredient in a tablet or pill is ground and mixed with the binding agent. The quantity of the ingredient needed to be ground is transported to the dryer in this container. Like all the other equipment, this container is made of stainless steel, so as not to contaminate the product. The temperature of the dryer and the airflow are programmed with this interface. The granulation has to be dried at around 100 or 120 degrees before being shaped into the desired tablet form. Molding of the pills is done by this press, which crushes the powder. The press exerts a pressure varying between 2 and 5 tons. Here's how the molding is done. The press magazine distributes the powder in molds made of steel discs. 2 stampers, one above and the other below, crush the powder and form the pill. Here the press operates at full capacity. It can produce 5,000 pills per minute. Quality testing is carried out on 5 pills every 15 minutes. Their hardness is verified with this apparatus, in which jaws crush it with a force varying between 0.3 and 3 psi, or pounds per square inch. The pills must now be coated so that they won't crumble. A coating solution made of water and coloring pigments is used. This is the coating unit. It can hold 350 pounds of pills. 3 plastic tubes strategically positioned will spray the solution onto the pills in motion. The quantity of dry pills to be coated is put into the unit. Then the door of the coating unit is carefully closed. A drum turns inside the unit, tumbling the pills. Then nozzles spray the solution in the form of a mist that quickly dries, preventing the pills from sticking to one another. This spraying operation lasts 40 minutes. Here we can compare pills. On the left are those made only of powder, while on the right are the spray-coated ones. The finished pills move down a chute to enter a counter prior to filling bottles. They are lined up in grooves to make filling easier. The quantity of pills to be placed into bottles is controlled by this automated unit connected to the counter. In this instance, 500 pills are poured into each bottle. This plant also makes capsules, where the ingredient is not crushed but encapsulated in a gelatin casing. The distributor places the two halves of the capsules in the proper position for filling, with the wider half situated above. The top and bottom portions of the capsule are separated. The lower half is then filled with powder. When well filled, the two halves of the capsule are joined together. The completed capsules are then ejected from the filling unit. Then, via centrifugal force, they are positioned for the packaging process. The weight of each capsule is verified by this counter. Each capsule must have the precise weight. The final step is packaging. A sheet of transparent PVC is heat embossed, forming an impression to receive capsules. Then, a pre-glued aluminum foil sheet is adhered to the back side, sealing everything in. This plant turns out millions of pills and capsules every year.
GitX 2022, the world's largest exhibition of robots and future technologies, took place in Dubai. Revolutionary developments, innovative technologies, futuristic solutions, robots, and unmanned cars. We've chosen all the most interesting things for you in today's one episode, so watch to the end and subscribe to the channel. The World Trade Center's 20 halls accommodated over 500 companies who brought their latest solutions and concepts, hoping to interest the government of the United Arab Emirates, which actively innovates in a variety of areas of life in their country. Dubai Metaverse's strategy foresees the creation of more than 40,000 new virtual jobs in the Emirate by 2030. Intelligent devices, unmanned vehicles, and mixed reality are how the Dubai and Emirati authorities see the near future. So, let's take a look at the best exhibits from the show. No robot show today is without Amica, which recently gained the ability to answer visitors' questions on their own without an operator hidden in the background. Amica is currently the most famous humanoid platform with realistic facial expressions and unique designs. Using the movements of the face, head, shoulders, and arms, the robot imitates human reactions. In Dubai, the robot shown not only part of ᴘᴱɪᴛɪᴛɪᴜ cutting-edge exhibit, but also a new exhibit or collaborator at the Museum of the Future. At the stand of the digital telecommunications company ᴘᴱ, among other things, there was a flying motorcycle from ᴘᴱ, the ᴘᴱ Limited Edition. In Dubai in general, there's a great interest in unmanned and flying vehicles. Negotiations with the Dubai police to create flying hoverbikes were led by a company with Russian roots called HoverSurf. Now a startup from Tokyo has hit the spotlight at GitX. Its ᴘᴱ is equipped with a standard engine and 4 additional battery-powered engines. The developers promise a 40-minute flight at speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. The biggest premiere at GitX Global was the presentation of the X2 flying car. It included a public takeoff, flight, and safe landing of the 5th-generation aeromobile from the Chinese company XPeng. Although prototypes have been around for ages, the actual commercial flying car is still quite elusive. And now, finally, the eVTOL X2 autonomous 2-seat electric vehicle marks a new era of short-haul flights and mobile solutions based on artificial intelligence. At least that's what the manufacturers are claiming. The X2 has a maximum takeoff weight of 760 kilograms and weighs 560 kilograms without passengers. It can reach a maximum speed of 130 kilometers per hour and offers a 35-minute flight time. Constructed from high-quality carbon fiber, the vehicle is equipped with a parachute for safety. Whether XPeng was able to secure a contract in Dubai to launch this airmobile is not yet known. The Japanese startup SkyDrive brought its prototype of an unmanned cab to the show. The company's been working on flying cars for several summers, and it's already demonstrated a brief flight of this prototype. It was previously announced that the startup will launch an air cab to transport visitors to the World Expo in Osaka in 2025. And recently it became known that SkyDrive has entered into an agreement with Suzuki Motor, which should help make this plan a reality. Since then, the concept design has changed a bit. We await the actual prototype and first flight videos of the vehicle. The stellar GetX 2021 was a concept car from Mercedes called Avatar. This year, the futuristic Cadillac inner space autonomous electric car conquered the show with its design. The two-seat vehicle focused on allowing passengers to completely disconnect and enjoy the ride without worrying about driving. For passenger comfort, not only the doors are lifted up, but also the roof of the car. The windshield is only a tribute to tradition, as half of it is covered by a huge curved display that shows media with its own software based on the operating system Multify from Linux. There's no familiar controls, they're not needed. Cadillac Inner Space is only a concept as of now, but it's fully consistent with the concept of converting 25% of all transportation in Dubai to fully autonomous by 2030. And of course, the robotic cars of the future will need robotic charging. The idea has been wandering around for years now, and sooner or later it's bound to become a reality. Our prediction is within 3 years, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Also on display was a robotic microscope with BHS technology. A specially designed head display allows the surgeon to interact with the robotic arm on which the microscope is mounted to increase the accuracy and speed of complex surgeries. The robotic scope detects the surgeon's head movement and controls the robot's camera accordingly. In the front of the surgeon's eyes are two digital microdisplays that show a three-dimensional image of the operating field in real time, while the robotic arm and camera head perform the corresponding movements with high precision. Other exhibits at the show include a giant 3D head from the General Office of Resident and Alien Affairs. It told visitors how biometrics would be used outside of airports and at border checkpoints. Specifically, biometrics could speed up financial transactions at all air, land, and seaports in Dubai. If the data is of high quality, it can also be used by other government and non-governmental organizations to better serve their customers, according to the head of the department. Another cool technology presented at GetX Global 2022 was the PillBot robotic tablet from Silicon Valley-based company EnviaTX. It allows you to perform an endoscopy in the comfort of your own home. Simply swallow the polycarbonate pill filled with water and call the doctor on Zoom. The pill passes through the gastrointestinal tract, splashes water in 6 different directions, and allows you and your doctor to watch a fascinating or not-so-fascinating video. If the doctor sees something that can be treated with pills, he can prescribe them on the spot. And if something more serious is found, you can go to the hospital for a follow-up. A mini robot developed by the Dubai Institute for Technological Innovation can follow people or explore spaces to find in case of accidents. It's designed for use in factories and warehouses. Promobot also featured at GetX 2022, bringing an unexpected solution called Robot Heads. Smart Heads are a separate ready-made solution. They can communicate with the audience, answer questions, and help employees from various organizations. According to the developers, proprietary technology and patented designs allow the robot to reproduce more than 600 variants of human micro-mimicry. To maintain the dialogue, the robots use their own dialogue platform, Promobot Nested Chat. It allows you to understand text and spoken language, extracting the necessary information and providing a native response. According to the creators of the robot, humanoid droids of Robo-C model are in great demand in the Middle East. Also on display was RoboSculptor, a continuation of the idea of a robotic masseur. Whereas earlier manipulators mostly worked with one or two body zones, and this robot can not only do a professional massage, but also make aesthetic corrections to the whole body. The developers claim lymphatic drainage, anti-cellulite effect, and therapy after exercise. The robotic arm with a roller is completed by a high-speed 3D scanner of the whole body, and the massage protocol is created by artificial intelligence. There were several unmanned vehicles at GitX, including the Cruise Origin. According to the Director General of the Dubai Roads and Transportation Authority, these robot cars will be deployed in limited numbers next year, and the number will increase over time. Another autonomous vehicle on display was the taxi minibus. It will be used for the first time during the Etihad Airways Grand Prix Abu Dhabi in November. The bus will stop at 8 points on Yas Island and carry up to 7 passengers at a time. LED screens in the cabin show passengers a map of the route with stops and entertainment content. In 2023, the bus will be tested on Saadiyat Island in free mode. An impressive exhibit was the Thermite RS3 robot firefighter from How and How. The robot's powered by a 36.8 Yanmar engine and reaches speeds of up to 13 kilometers per hour and has ranges of up to 500 meters. It can deliver water flows at 2,500 gallons per minute depending on the model. The robot can be controlled remotely from a safe distance, and the belly pack controller provides high-definition video feedback for maximum maneuverability in challenging environments. There were several drones at GitX, but the most interesting solution was the Neo Octocopter from Flycam. The drone is produced by Ace Core Technologies in the Netherlands, and Flycam, in cooperation with radiation instrument manufacturers, develops reliable systems for the drone to help it carry a payload. The Neo in this configuration is already in use by a number of companies. A humanoid robot dressed as a construction worker was seen in one of the pavilions. It interacted with people, but most likely reading a pre-recorded program about the booth. The Swiss company SwissSmile was rocking a robot at the show, but were unable to find any videos of its performance at GitX. SwissSmile is a partner of Robotic Systems Lab of the Zurich University of Technology, and is developing the animal robot. In the company's version, the robot can traverse the roughest terrains at speeds of up to 20 kilometers per hour, and balance on 2 legs in humanoid mode. The 4-legged robot can be used commercially for surveillance during large-scale building inspections or search and rescue operations. It can carry and deliver items up to 100 kilograms. The robot is also waterproof to a depth of 1 meter and has a battery life of up to 10 hours. At this time, this machine costs $200,000. The Dubai Electricity and Water Authority demonstrated its 4-legged robot Wathek for checking and auditing stations and reading meters in remote areas. As you may have guessed, it's Spot Boston Dynamics, adapted to detect faults and checks the connection points of high-voltage cables. It can also be used to detect leaks in water pipes, patrol and safety surveillance, and to ensure consistency in construction work in hard-to-reach areas. Autonomy's Autobot mobile robots made an appearance at GitX. These robotic deliveries have already proven themselves at the Cincinnati and Rome airports, where they deliver food and duty-free goods to waiting passengers. Businesses can rent delivery robots on a subscription basis and order customization to add cooling or heating to food and beverages, for example. Acer demonstrated at the Acer booth Spatial Labs the capability of turning an ordinary monitor into 3D. The technology enables an immersive experience through an advanced optical system, real-time display, and visualization solutions. The tool combines eye tracking, stereoscopic 3D displays, real-time visualization capabilities, and artificial intelligence tech. Pepper Robots, mobile service robots including PUDU robotic waiters and service humanoid robots developed in Saudi Arabia, were also not left out of the show. Subscribe to the Pro Robot channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech. And if you want to be in the know about the latest news, join our community on the Pro Robots Instagram page.
Alors, en noir ou en couleur? En couleur, c'est plus grave. Et qu'est-ce que tu fais? N'importe quoi. Comme d'habitude? Mais attends, tu vas voir. Je vais te réserver une surprise. Bien. Madame.
Angry Birds, yep. Surprised the way he holds the marker too. He holds it like this.
J'ai déjà eu demi-minute de passer. J'ai un peu triché pour te laisser du temps. Ça va.
That looks like a turkey, yeah.
Tu viens se filer.
These paintings are worth an extraordinary amount of money these days. They're always selling them. You always see them selling them.
By today's standards, it's always sad when you learn an animal no longer exists in the wild. Like we're losing something great in the environment because of it. Extinction is seen as a terrible end to any creature, and we should be working towards preserving that species as best we can. However, there sure were some that were glad went extinct long ago. From massive monsters to powerful predators, these are everything that haunts our dreams to this day. Some were long gone before humans, and some of them might have shared hunting spaces. Get comfortable, get ready, and make sure you subscribe to the Forever Green channel. Because we've got a doozy of a video to show you today. 24 deadly animals you will be glad to know are extinct. Number 24, ᴛɪɪᴛɪᴜ. Otherwise known as the saber-toothed cat, the ᴛɪɪᴛɪᴜ was an ambush predator known for its robust build and exceptionally long canine teeth. It was built with a larger jaw than modern cats, and teeth adapted well by nature for its exact style of precision killing. I don't don't know about you, but I'm pretty glad we only have to deal with mountain lions and bobcats, unless you live somewhere a bit wilder. The saber-toothed cat may have briefly lived with humans, but likely died with humans, and the Ice Age finally putting the nail in the coffin. Number 23, ᴛɪ괱ɪᴛɪᴜ. You probably don't want to imagine a giant scorpion, much less one that's 5 feet long. In 2015, scientists discovered the ᴛɪ괱ɪᴛɪᴜ in all its glory, and used to swim around modern-day Iowa nearly 450 million years ago. Their successors would go on to be current-day ticks, spiders, and lobsters, but chances are they didn't last long after Iowa decided to be, well, Iowa instead of a seabed. All we have to this day are fossils and drawings, though a replica was created for National Geographic's Strange Truth program. Sometimes seeing is believing, but it would be better to go ahead and unsee some things. Number 22, ᴘᴕᴇ. If you've ever wondered what it's like for a worm to have legs, then you're going to regret that thought pretty soon. This absolute nightmare fuel is like every worst possible thing wrapped into one, because they might not be legs. They're probably tentacles, and they may or may not have had mouths on them.
Pairs of really stiff spines running along one side of the organism and long, flexible appendages on its other side.
Looking like something horrific out of a Dali painting, this noodly little guy has got it going on if it is being the worst thing that ever existed. I know this isn't what a ringworm looks like, but it would be so much worse if it were, don't you think? Number 21, Gigantopithecus. Until about 1,000 years ago, you might have been able to spot Bigfoot in Asia. To what we know as modern apes and orangutans, these ancient ancestors were nearly 10 feet tall. Why are all old animals massive? They were probably vegetarian, but we can't be sure. And vegetarian doesn't make an arm span of 12 feet any less terrifying. One big hug, and you're snapped in half. Number 20, Harpagornis moreyi. Also known as Haast's eagle, the Harpagornis moreyi probably only went extinct about 500 years ago at the hands of early Polynesia peoples in southern New Zealand. They developed what we now know as island gigantism due to a lack of competition, and were a clear descendant of the terrifying raptor. At the time, they were known best by locals for their ability to swoop down and pick up whole children once the Maori people had whittled down their food source. I'm sorry, but at that point, it's every person for themselves. Number 19, Edestus. We may not know this guy's exact form because of how old they are, but the Edestus, also known as a scissor-toothed shark or coal shark, was a type of animal not to shed teeth, instead just grow more of them. This new growth would push the older teeth and gums forward, creating a potentially terrifying spiral tooth display. One option is like this, a spiral saw of old jagged teeth, though some others speculate whether their mouth looked like a monstrous pair of pinking shears instead. Have you ever looked into prehistoric creatures? Which one would you not want to face off with? Do you think we're better off without these beasts? Let us know down below. Number 18, Faberrimus patterson. If you think city rats are enormous, you'd hate to come across these little ratzillas. It's all fun and games until that rat is the size of a bull. They could grow as long as 10 feet with a 5-foot tail. They might have been herbivorous, but they had foot-long incisors, and I really don't like those odds. They were known to live in the ancient Orinoco River Delta about 8 million years ago, so they're probably not going to come back anytime soon. Hopefully. Number 17, Titanoboa. And you thought the Loch Ness Monster was terrible? If they weren't over 60 million years old, I might think these bad boys were the inspiration for those kinds of myths. That is, ignoring entirely that they were found in northeastern Colombia rather than Scotland. With a name like Titanoboa, you kind of already know what you're getting into. It's a titanic snake, which could grow as long as 42 feet long and weigh as much as 2,500 pounds. You're not winning a fight with this bad boy no matter how good you are. They'd eat you whole, as a midday snack, if they even recognized you as food. Number 16, Meganeura. If you're in an area known for dragonflies, you'll know they're pretty big. But what if they were so big, you'd have to beat them off with a bat? They might have been harmless like their modern-day descendants, but that sure doesn't make it a whole lot better. Number 15, ᴠɪ괱ɪᴛɪᴜ. If you didn't think fish needed armor, you certainly don't know much about prehistoric times. The ᴠɪʱɪᴛɪᴜ not long had its armor, but had unique teeth and a beak-like mouth, explicitly made for biting through the same kind of armor. They might have been a sort of cannibalistic species. With that kind of information, though, we can't be sure. They had jaws so efficient they could hinge them open and snap them back shut in just a matter of milliseconds. Number 14, Anomalocaris. When you think of apex predators, do you think of killer whales, lions, or tigers? Do you think of something massive and powerful and in control of its environment? Well, the ᴛᴱɪᴛɪᴜ may be the earliest example we have of this kind of behavior, and it's a shrimp. This hideous 6-foot-long creature had tentacles with teeth in them, and they were carnivores in their time. We're just lucky shrimp don't look like this anymore, because I'm not sure a beach trip would be the same knowing what's down there. Number 13, Titanosaurus games. At a massive half-a-meter length, the discovery of this 500-million-year-old species was beyond comprehension at the time. The Titanosaurus were considered giant compared to even most of the animals living in the sea at the time, which were all barely larger than a pinky finger. This mind-bogglingly large critter is to this day one of the largest animals ever found from the Cambrian period, complete with a tooth-lined mouth, spiny claws, and a body with flaps to better swim with. All of this adds up to an arthropod I'm very, very glad we don't have to deal with today. Number 12, ᴘᴱɪᴛɪᴜ. With a name like Terror Bird, you get exactly what you're expecting. But if that's not enough, 2 million years ago they lived in the Americas and could grow to be something of 10 feet tall. Their beaks were so strong and sharp that a blow from the head could kill other animals by cracking their skulls. These apex predators from the Cenozoic era went extinct around the time of the humans, though they may have lasted in a much smaller form until recently in Uruguay. They might have been flightless, but if you've ever seen the power of an ostrich, you know that doesn't mean anything. Number 11, Argovantes. To continue the theme of birds, this prehistoric vulture had a wingspan of 20 feet, was as tall as a human, and preyed on cattle. We know that even current-day birds are just evolved dinosaurs, but this one gives off powerful pterodactyl energy. They're the largest flying birds ever to exist, which compared to the current largest flying birds of the albatross and the North American condor, they're more than twice the size. This seabird spent most of its time swooping above the ocean for giant prey like squid and fish, and probably ate its game both live and whole. At a breakneck speed of 10 meters per second for its flight speed. We're lucky they've gone extinct. We may not know why, but we know we're lucky. Before we continue, if you've made it this far, go ahead and drop a like down below, so we know you enjoyed the video. If you want more of our unique, engaging, and sometimes wild content, then subscribe to Forevergreen while you're down there. And make sure you hit the notification bell while you're at it so you never miss a single upload. Number 10, ᴛɪ괜ɪᴛɪᴜ. Isn't it a bit crazy that almost all ancient civilizations have some variation of a dragon story? The ᴛɪ괜ɪᴛɪⴜ may have something to do with that. This extinct species of giant monitor lizard inhabited Australia during the Pleistocene era, and it is the largest terrestrial lizard known to have existed. They vanished probably around 50,000 years ago and probably went extinct around the first emigration of indigenous settlers. If you think you've got some nasty relatives, just think of how the Komodo dragon must feel. Number 9, Deinosuchus. I mean, all crocodiles are terrible, but not all of them have it in the name. These bad boys lived up to the awful name. Dinosaurs of the time left fossils with Deinosuchus bites left in them. They regularly went toe-to-toe with our prehistoric predecessors. They grew up to as long as 35 feet long and were found in North America. Can you imagine one of these just walking through your yard? People freak out for less. We're just lucky they seem to have died out before the mass extinction events, because I'm not sure a meteor would have been able to do the job. Number 8, Platybelodon. During the Miocene epoch in Africa, Asia, and the Caucasus, you might have run across a platybelodon, which looks a lot like current-day elephants while still being distinct. They had a massive shovel of a lower jaw, used to pull up aquatic and semi-aquatic vegetation. They might have been herbivores, but current-day elephants can still be a hazard. Imagine a jaw like that, with the power behind it and the sharp incisors forming a scythe-like tool with it. No, no thank you. Number 7, Helicoprion. If you're like any sane person out there, you've probably never had the thought, I wish sharks had a buzzsaw-shaped mouth. Like most other prehistoric fish out there aren't enough fossils left to get a good idea. The Helicoprion baffled scientists for centuries as a mystery. They found bits and pieces of a jaw and finally put together its horrific form, as if we didn't have nightmares already. The whirl of teeth was created as the fish produced more towards the back rather than shedding old ones, pushing them forward into this spiral of horror. All we know is they went extinct close to 225 million years ago, and good riddance. Number 6. Arthropleura. I think this might haunt me at night. The Arthropleura is not precisely the kind of thing you'd want to see out in the woods when you're alone. They might be more similar to modern millipedes. The horror in these guys is that they're not tiny. But do you want to know something horrifying? If they had to defend themselves, they could probably rear into an upright posture and look you straight in the eyes. And I personally never want to repeat those words. Number 5. ᴘɪ괜 mildew. You probably know better, but if a name says anything, being named after the ancient sea leviathans should tell you everything you need to know about this beast. They are a relative to the modern sperm whales and could grow up to around 57 feet long, with a skull alone that was 10 feet. Not to mention its 40 teeth at 14.5 inches long, which are, if you're wondering, the longest teeth on any creature extinct or not. They fed on large prey at the surface of the water. Though its size helped, it was probably so large because of its competitor, the ᴛＧɁ. They went extinct due to the mass cooling event, which also preserved many of their bones.
Which makes this animal the biggest tetrapod bite ever discovered.
Lucky for us, the ocean has one less horror out there. Number 4. ᴑɪ괛ɪᴜ. Not to say there aren't giant squids out there, but the ones we have are nothing next to this one. They lived something of 460 million years ago, and had a vast cone-like shell on top which aided them in hunting. Though at their size, 40 feet long and 2,000 pounds, they probably didn't have to compete very hard. I wouldn't say this is the inspiration, but if they'd lived a little longer, I could see humans making a big deal about the deep-sea kraken after seeing one of these giant creatures. The stuff of legends, if there ever was. Number 3. Megapiranha. Chances are the prehistoric cousin is just what you'd expect, but more horrifying than you'd think. They were the size of boogie boards and easily about 3 feet long. With 2 rows of teeth where their current successors only have 1, these monsters were known to even go after beasts like the megalodon or Tyrannosaurus rex. With rising oceans, they were shuffled off to smaller water basins and couldn't sustain the large size, evolving down to make this change with survival. It would be nice if they were gone, but I'll take what I can get. Number 2. Megalodon. These whale-chomping monsters were a force to be reckoned with. However, we don't entirely know when the last megalodon died. It was probably around 3.6 million years ago after a global cooling event. The scale of these massive beasts is hard to put together. Their jaws could eat a complete grown man whole. To this day, the megalodon's 60-foot length makes them still to this day one of the most formidable carnivores to have ever existed. We still don't have an entire skeleton, but we know they probably would have stuck to warmer climates. The coastal towns of Florida and the Caribbean islands would probably not be as hospitable if they hadn't died out. Number 1. Archdottus. Not your average bear. The Archdottus was 50% larger than any recorded polar bears and probably would have needed to eat close to 35 pounds of meat per day to sustain their size. They were native to California until about 11,000 years ago, which is far too close to modern times if you ask me. They're one of the largest known mammalian carnivores to have ever existed, and probably went around the same time as the megalodon with the global cooling event. Do you think they fit in among current-day animals, or are they all just a bit too big? A few evolved and are just a more petite version of their prehistoric ancestors. But not all. Let us know your thoughts down below.
Your ghost of Christmas present.
The top 10 most expensive restaurants. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Hello Aluxers, welcome back. Today we'd like to invite you on a culinary journey, a journey that will have your taste buds on overdrive, where you can imagine the delicious aromas that would filter from these exclusive kitchens, where every bite is a masterpiece and you'll enjoy an unforgettable fine dining experience. Number 10. Aragawa, Tokyo, $370 a person. Believed to be the most famous Kobe beef restaurant in Japan, Aragawa has been serving sublime steaks since 1956. The restaurant is in an unassuming and quiet part of Tokyo, and the decor won't leave you overwhelmed. Perhaps a good thing, so you can focus on the melt-in-your-mouth steak you'll be feasting on. The founder, Chef Jiro Yamada, passed away in 2011, and his sons took over the business as head chef and restaurant manager. Their specialty is sanda beef, which is a variety of Kobe beef. Kobe is the region the cattle are from, and it's a recognized Wagyu brand. Wagyu means Japanese beef. This beef is costly because there are only a few farmers who produce less than 1,000 cattle a year. In comparison, around 3,000 Kobe beef are raised each year. Wagyu cattle farmers follow stringent rules and guidelines to have their beef receive the Wagyu clearance. Young cattle are fed by hand, and when it's cold, they wear sweaters. With only 10 tables in the restaurant, bookings are essential. The steak has been described as surreal, once in a lifetime, and the best I've ever tasted. Number 9. ᴠɪ괛ɪᴛɪᴜ, Paris and Las Vegas, $385 per person. Seduction is not usually a word you would associate with food, but viewing the website for ᴠɪ괛ɪᴜ, it's the only way to describe the food and culinary experience you'll get booking a table at one of these two restaurants. One is in Monnaie de Paris, and the other in Las Vegas. ᴠɪᴛɪᴜ is the owner of the restaurants, and he was born in France. He spends a few weeks a year at the Las Vegas restaurant, but his son runs it in his absence. Savoy alternates his French chefs to ensure that the expectation and quality remain the same. Gordon Ramsay received his training from Guy and called him a culinary mentor. Savoy won numerous awards for his gastronomic input. His Las Vegas restaurant received 2 Michelin stars, the Forbes 5-Star Award, the AAA 5-Diamond Award, and the Wine Spectator Grand Award. He's won the French Influence Award for gastronomy, and his Paris restaurant has received 3 Michelin stars. It's been ranked as one of the top 50 restaurants in the world in 2004 and 2005. Savoy stepped out of his comfort zone in 2007, and we'll tell you how later. Number 8. Restaurant de l'Hôtel de Ville, Switzerland, $415 per person. On the outskirts of Lucerne in Switzerland, Benjamin Girardet opened a small restaurant. He ran the establishment from 1955 until his passing in 1965. His son, Freddie, a trained typographer, took over the restaurant and eventually the kitchen. Typography and cooking are worlds apart, but Freddie said he had an epiphany while dining at Trois Grosses Brothers in Rome. He said he just knew he needed to create delicacies for people to enjoy. He had a golden rule, and that was to never use more than 3 flavors on a plate. It's a rule that's been followed by every succeeding chef since. Being called the chef of the century is no small feat, and he's left an incredible mark on the culinary world. The restaurant only uses local vegetables and game from hunters. Reviews from guests have used words such as perfection, exceptional at every level, and from another planet. Number 7. Maison Pique, Valence, France, $445 per person. It's been in the family since 1889. It wasn't always a grand Michelin 3-star affair, but began as a simple country inn named Café Restaurant du Pin by Sophie Pique. Her husband, Eugene, hunted, so they specialized in game. Under their son, André Pique, they received their 3 Michelin stars in 1939. André's son, Jacques, wasn't keen on being a chef, but when his dad lost their 3rd star in 1946 and their 2nd star in 1950, he decided to change his career path and earn the stars back, which he managed to do. They held on to that rating until 1995, 3 years after Jacques' death. His daughter, Sophie, took over the restaurant from her brother and regained the lost star in 2007. She's the only female chef in France to have 3 Michelin stars. Jacques created the first tasting menu, which has been used worldwide since. Heading to Maison Pique takes you on an appetizing journey to the past with modern twists on classic dishes. Spend a night at the 5-star hotel, Hotel Maison Pique, to have the ultimate luxurious experience. Number 6. Kyoto Kicho Arashiyama, Kyoto, Japan. $450 per person. The idea of Kyoto Kicho began back in 1925 when founder Yuki Taichi found some kaiseki cuisine menus and was inspired to begin his own restaurant. Kaiseki is the traditional multi-course Japanese dinner. He opened Otaya Dekoro Kicho back in 1939, but Kyoto Kicho Arashiyama, as we know it today, opened in 1948. All your senses will be indulged when you sit down on the floor mat for your 10-course menu. The views of the garden are beautiful and they change with every season, so every time you go there, you'll encounter a change in the landscape and scenery. The dining experience is roughly 3 hours from start to finish, and there are many elements to it other than just the food. It's a bit theatrical, artistic, and a part historical, with interesting stories and facts about the past and the origins of the dishes. Many feel it's a shame to ruin the artistic display of the food by eating it. The executive chef is Tokuoka Kunio, the grandson of Yuki Taichi. In 2016, he was appointed as International Ambassador for My Prefecture Foods, an area of Japan that specializes in ice lobster. Number 5. Restaurant Les Maurice, Paris, France. $480 per person. Opulent is the first thing that springs to mind when you first see this gorgeous restaurant. Decked with crystal chandeliers, marble, antique mirrors, and beautiful paintings, you can only imagine the heavenly meal that's headed your way. The restaurant is in Les Maurice, one of the most beautiful hotels in Paris, which stood since 1815. Many notable figures have stayed there, including Salvador Dali, Elizabeth Taylor, and Ginger Rogers, as well as kings, sultans, and other prominent figures. The restaurant has sweeping views of the Tuileries Garden and is currently run by Jocelyn Herland, who credits Alain Ducasse for the opportunity. It's a 2 Michelin-starred restaurant, serving the freshest ingredients on handmade crockery and ensuring that your every culinary need is met to sheer perfection. Number 4. Masa, New York City. $595 per person. This is one of the most expensive restaurants in New York City, and you need to book far in advance as there's only 26 seats inside. It's situated in the Time Warner Center, and its decor is simple, so you're not distracted from your gastronomic journey. There is no menu, so you need to trust that Masa will deliver on his promise of the most sublime flavors. Chef Masa, or Masayoshi Takayama, always had a love of food. His family had a fish market, and as a child, he would deliver fresh sashimi to neighbors on his bicycle. When he was in high school, he catered for weddings, and he apprenticed under Sugiyama Toshiaki, renowned as a sushi master. If you're fortunate enough to dine here, notice that the sushi counter is a solid piece of hinoki. Hinoki is a prized piece of wood taken from a cypress tree in Japan. The wood is considered to be sacred and has a lemon scent to it. Every day the counter is sanded to create a soft, porous state, which is both pleasing to look at and feel. And the best place to sit is at the bar, so you can see the master at work. Number 3. Ultraviolet, Shanghai, China. $600 to $900 per person. Turbulent, unpredictable, and unconventional. Those are just some of the words used by the creator and chef of Ultraviolet, the first multi-sensory dining experience in the world. Paul Perret, an avant-garde French chef, took 16 years to make his dream a reality. With 3 Michelin stars under his belt, Ultraviolet has been offering this surreal experience since 2012. There's only one table in the restaurant, which seats 10 people. You'll be served 22 courses, plus drinks to match each one. Diners meet at one location, Mr. and Mrs. Bond, also owned by Perret, and enjoy a cocktail and a snack. They then embark on a ride to an undisclosed location in a van they can't see out of. Once there, they head into the dining room with stark white walls and your name illuminated on your seat. Then, the show begins. The room is transformed by lights, sounds, and scents, and you're transported to different scenes throughout the evening. The ratio of staff to guests is 2.5 to 1, so your every need is catered to. Number 2. Per Se, New York. $685 per person. At a young age, Thomas Keller was told that food was a way of nurturing people, and it fueled his desire to become a chef. He's owned several restaurants in the past, but per se became his creme de la creme. It overlooks Central Park, and the whole experience was over the top and elaborate. Diners could choose from 4 different salts to pair with their dishes. The restaurant quickly earned 3 Michelin star status and was named the best restaurant in New York City back in 2011. Keller was able to take haute cuisine and inject an element of playfulness and personality into it, and the menu would change depending on the freshest ingredients that were available at the time. In 2016, the restaurant received a scathing review from critic Pete Wells, claiming it was dull and just not worth the money. Many debates have cropped up, questioning the value of these types of restaurants, which take hours and cost a fortune, whereas younger chefs are making equally delicious food in fantastic locations at a fraction of the cost. Keller did apologize to patrons and is using the review as a learning curve and continues to wow his guests with delicious food and enticing flavor combinations. Number 1. Sublimotion, Ibiza, Spain. $2,380 per person. Inside the Hard Rock Hotel on the Spanish island of Ibiza, there's a restaurant that's almost like the adult version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, except all of your senses will be overloaded. The owner and head chef is Paco Roncero, who opened the restaurant back in 2014. You'll be dining with 11 others inside the Capsule. The Capsule is a blank canvas which transforms into various magical experiences. The audio-visual experience was created by illusionists, engineers, and screenwriters, and there's a musical menu to watch, with each course being served with a choreographed number. You'll enjoy 3 hours of adventures as you head off into space, go to the depths of the ocean, enjoy a cabaret in the 20th century, and dine with friends in the future. During the evening, diners are given VR headsets, which takes them into a fantasy world, while music is provided by award-winning composers and popular Ibiza DJs. Dining at Sublimotion is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you will never forget, and worth every penny. And that's a wrap on the top 10 most expensive restaurants, Luxers. Are you hungry yet? Before you go, we're curious. Have you dined at any of these exclusive, expensive restaurants? Which ones? And if not, which would be at the top of your list to try first? Let us know in the comments. And for sticking with us until the end, of course, here's your bonus. If you're a fan of animated films, then you would have seen Ratatouille. The movie features a German sous chef named Horst. In the English version, Horst was voiced by Will Arnett, but in the French version, it was voiced by ᴠɪ괱ɪᴛɪᴜ, who truly stepped out of his comfort zone as a chef and restaurant owner to become a voiceover artist. As Chef Auguste Gusteau says, anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great.
Thank you for spending some time with us, Luxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part.
Man-made wonders, the greatest man-made structures. This is a compilation of the most amazing man-made wonders of the world, such as the Eiffel Tower, Brooklyn Bridge, and the Great Wall of China. These structures transcend notions of what humans are capable of creating, and occasionally they even appear to defy gravity. Watch this video to see these amazing feats of engineering. The Eiffel Tower. Paris is home to numerous stunning landmarks, including Notre Dame, the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe, and many others. Even though it has only been a part of the city for 131 years, the Eiffel Tower continues to be the most recognizable feature of France's capital. The 300-meter-tall Iron Tower was erected for the 1889 World's Fair, and was designed by Gustave Eiffel. It was constructed in a little over 2 years, which was thought to be a record at the time. The Taj Mahal. India's Taj Mahal, the most magnificent mausoleum ever built, is delicate and elegant. It's embellished with floral and geometric designs, jewels, calligraphy, and lace-like design made of white marble that reflects the sun's shifting colors in front of a dazzling reflecting pool. The mausoleum took 20 years to construct and was ordered in 1632 by Emperor Shah Jahan for his wife Mumtaz Mahal. The Pyramids at Giza. The 3 ancient Egyptian pyramids outside of Cairo, which are the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still intact, are home to the tombs of 3 pharaohs: Khufu, his son Khafre, and his son Menkaure. Khufu's pyramid, which originally stood 139 meters tall, is known as the Great Pyramid because it's the largest. The 3 incredible buildings took 70 years to complete. Whatever the method of construction, the majestic pyramids are still standing today to surprise visitors as they did thousands of years ago. The Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, one of the most well-known in the world and maybe the most breathtaking, crosses the Golden Gate Strait, which connects the San Francisco Bay to the Pacific Ocean. The suspension bridge's most recognizable feature, in addition to the eye-catching towers and flowing cables, is the distinctive color known as International Orange painted on the steel framework. One of the greatest structures ever is the Golden Gate Bridge. Big Ben and the House of Parliament. London's skyline is dominated by the most recognizable and adored clock tower in the entire globe. Although the 96-meter tower is known as Elizabeth Tower, Big Ben is the name of the bell within. In 1834, a fire destroyed the historic Palace of Westminster, which today serves as the location of the British government's parliament. The elaborate Parliament building and the tower took 30 years to construct, and Charles Barry designed them to effortlessly mix in with the still existing medieval structures. Christ the Redeemer. The only modern building chosen to be one of the new 7 wonders of the world is the 30-meter-tall Art Deco monument with outstretched arms that guards Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It was finished in 1931. Even people who are not religious are moved by the magnificence of Christ the Redeemer, which is perched over 700 meters above the sea on Corcovado Mountain. The monument, also known as Cristo Redentor locally, is a feature of Tijuca National Park, the world's biggest urban rainforest. Sydney Opera House. Even if you've never been to the opera, the sweeping arches of this edifice over Sydney Harbour, Australia, are likely to be familiar. It stands alone as one of the undeniable triumphs of human ingenuity, not only in the 20th century, but throughout human history. The vaulted shells of the Opera House appear to break out of their harborside location, at once utterly contemporary, yet evoking emotion. A dramatic setting to match the drama of the performing arts it contains. The Great Wall of China. This architectural masterpiece merges with the scenery it was designed to protect, as it rolls over China's terrain. The Great Wall is made up of various branches that stretch for thousands of kilometers. The military defense system's length was likely over 20,920 kilometers, built over 2 millennia. While part of it is no longer standing, it's still the world's longest wall. It's difficult not to be impressed by one of humanity's greatest architectural feats. The Colosseum. Every historical landmark in Rome is breathtakingly magnificent. From the Roman Forum, to Palatine Hill, to the Pantheon Temple, to the chariot racetrack Circus Maximus. All relics of a once thriving and bustling city. But one location epitomizes all of ancient Rome's glory: the Colosseum. It was erected for the same objectives as today's stadiums: sport and entertainment. It was a gigantic stone amphitheater, initially coated in marble and travertine. This massive building, which can hold more than 50,000 people, took 8 years to create. The entertainment was often gruesome, with genuine gladiators battling to the death. Neuschwanstein Castle. There are many beautiful castles in Germany, but the most romantic has to be Neuschwanstein in Bavaria. Ludwig II, dubbed the fairy tale king, was so impressed by the mountain landscape that he intended to build a lovely palace in the style of old poetry. Neuschwanstein appears to hover above the surrounding landscape, although the castle isn't very high. This is due to the castle's mountain perch, which also made building a challenge. Its beauty, on the other hand, is unrivaled. Angkor Wat. In the Middle Ages, this beautifully painted Buddhist monastery complex in Cambodia became an important pilgrimage site. Today, all religions admire Angkor Wat for its skillful construction of 5 towers, bas-reliefs, and astounding grandeur, as the world's greatest religious monument. Furthermore, the forest seized portions of the ruins and merged with the building. Massive trees appear to grow out of the stone itself. The entire Angkor area is worth touring. It's regarded as the greatest in the region and is even featured on Cambodia's flag, the Empire State Building. This Art Deco skyscraper has become legendary. King Kong scaled it, lovers married on Valentine's Day atop it, it's the world's most photographed structure, and it's dominated the New York skyline for over 100 years. The Empire State Building was opened in 1931 and is 381 meters tall. The only New York City skyscraper that can compete with its beauty is maybe the Chrysler Building. But the Empire State overcame its competitor in both height and popularity to become the city's top landmark. Petra, Jordan's historic Rose City, was an important hub on Middle Eastern trade routes 2,000 years ago. The remains, which were gradually abandoned following an earthquake, are now a sad reminder of that desert country. The treasury, nestled at the bottom of a gorge, is one of Petra's most amazing constructions. An unexpectedly lovely sight in the natural terrain. Another amazing sight is the monastery, a building cut directly out of the rock from which it's created. Machu Picchu. This amazing Inca structure in Peru was hidden in a tropical jungle in the Andes Mountains until 1911 when it was rediscovered. Machu Picchu was constructed in the 15th century. Farmland terraces surround the main citadel. The Sun Temple, for example, was used for religious and astronomical purposes, with its window aligned with the summer solstice. No one knows why Machu Picchu was built, but there's no denying it's a mystical site whose site still touches us today. Stonehenge. The Stonehenge Stone Circle in Wiltshire, England, is another mystery building linked with the solstices. It appears to have no practical function, hence it was created for spiritual purposes. We also don't know how it was built, given the stones weigh up to 30 tons. But its dimensions are so perfect that it's apparent that engineers and builders understood exactly what they were doing. The fact that it's still standing today adds to its magnificence. Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is one of the greatest royal homes ever built. A masterwork of grandiose proportions and outrageous indulgence. King Louis XIV considerably extended the chateau, which was originally established as a hunting lodge just outside of Paris. The palace's massive appearance is matched by its grandeur on the inside, with 357 mirrors in its framed 73-meter-long hall of mirrors. Versailles' grandeur is rarely matched, yet it also contains some of the world's most memorable royal gardens. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. This bell tower owes some of its distinctive beauty to nature, and some to the error of its ambitious architects, whose shaky base resulted in the tower's famed tilt. Begun in 1173, the Tower of Pisa, Italy, has undergone several restoration operations in an attempt to stop the lean and prevent the tower from collapsing. It's still a stunning edifice, with 30 white marble arches on each of its middle 6 stories and a total of 207 columns. The Parthenon. This landmark ancient Greek temple is located on the Acropolis, a rocky peak and natural citadel high in the center of Athens, making it visible throughout the city. This marble structure, dedicated to Athena, the goddess of war and knowledge, was built around 440 BCE, and is embellished with sculptures and reliefs representing gods and wars. The Forbidden City. In all of its richness and vibrancy, the Beijing Royal Palace Complex is an extraordinary masterpiece of Chinese architecture. The Forbidden City, which was completed in 1420, is a collection of structures encircled by a 3-kilometer-long wall and moat. It's exquisitely painted in yellow and red, with vivid decorations, legendary animals, and distinctively formed sloping roofs. The Forbidden City's grandest structure, the Hall of Supreme Harmony, houses the throne atop a 3-tiered marble terrace. Beyond are the royal palaces. La Sagrada Familia. Barcelona is well known for Antoni Gaudi's unusual architecture. His most extravagantly gorgeous masterpiece is La Sagrada Familia, a church he began in 1882 and is still under construction. It's anticipated to be finished in 2026. The church, which resembles a drip sandcastle, has several towering spires and points along the roof, as well as stone and plaster sculptures and embellishments, as well as colorful pinnacles. La Sagrada Familia also has some of the world's most beautiful stained glass windows. Maui of Easter Island. These enormous heads are also utterly unique, with no counterparts anywhere else on Earth. Almost 1,000 of the sculptures stand vigil across Easter Island in the Pacific Ocean, reflecting a melancholy beauty with their broad, wide noses, powerful chins, and lips set in a seemingly determined attitude. The sculptures, known as Maui, were created by Polynesians between 1400 and 1650 out of volcanic rock from a nearby quarry. While we conceive of them as heads, archaeologists have unearthed evidence that they had bodies below the ground. The Statue of Liberty. For more than a century, a statue has greeted tourists and immigrants to New York Harbor. Lady Liberty, a gift from France in 1886, has flowing robes, a crown, and carries a torch and a plaque reading July 4th, 1776. She is 93 meters tall, including the pedestal, and is composed of copper, which has produced her distinctive green color. Although she is artistically stunning, her popularity stems from her symbolism of freedom for Americans and those who come to the country in search of a better life. Chichen Itza. The largest pre-Hispanic building in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula is the massive step pyramid known as the Castle, or Temple Culhuacan, among the ancient ruins of Chichen Itza. The center building, named after the Mayan god Culhuacan, a feathered snake, stands over 30 meters tall and has 91 stairs on each of its 4 sides. Because the temple is aligned with the sun, the shadow of a snake seems to crawl down the pyramid during the spring and fall equinoxes. The Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque, with its 6 majestic minarets, a large dome, and 8 smaller but equally impressive stained glass windows. The 20,000 Iznik porcelain tiles in brilliant blue, green, and turquoise that cover the interior and give the mosque its name are the mosque's crowning splendor. Patterns, geometric bands, and medallions are created with reds and yellows, as well as gold calligraphy. Subjects include flowers, fruit, and cypresses. Highclere Castle. The genuine English manor house, better known as the setting for Downton Abbey, is one of the most gorgeous in the country. The almost square architecture of Highclere Castle includes a central tower with 4 subsidiary towers at each corner, and spires on the towers and along the roof give the castle its towering aspect. The interior matches the regal exterior. The saloon has a 3-story, 15-meter-high roof with skylights and is ringed by a 2nd-floor gallery accessible by an elegant wood staircase. Mont Saint-Michel. The stunning view from afar is what distinguishes this monastery. Mount Saint-Michel lies on a small but steep rock on a little island just off the north coast of France in Normandy. The abbey spire rises to the sky and appears to float above the clouds on a foggy day. The island is encircled by water at high tide. At low tide, a sandy walkway connects to the hamlet below. The abbey's surroundings must have created a feeling of peril and mystery that still exists now. Giant Buddha of Lashan. On Mount Amai stands a 70-meter-tall Buddha carved out of red sandstone. The Buddha is partially hidden by the foliage and the Mount Amai scenic area of protected natural beauty, giving the impression that he's wearing the forest. His carefully sculpted peaceful face looks toward the confluence of 3 rivers. His hair is also covered in over 1,000 chignons, and his long ears are made of clay-smeared wood to attach to the rest of the stone head. Burj Khalifa. From the ancient to the ultra-modern, this high-tech but gorgeous edifice in Dubai is the world's current highest at over 820 meters. Its narrow cylinders appear to spiral upward, terminating in a needle-like tip. The outside of the Burj Khalifa, which opened in 2010, shines and gleams owing to reflective glazing and approximately 26,000 hand-cut glass panels. The sophisticated yet subtle beauty of the structure may be attributed to its inspiration from nature. The floor plan was based on the form of the hemercalis, a desert flower native to the region. Parotaksang. This monastery in Bhutan's Himalayan highlands defies gravity. Its inventive moniker, Tiger's Nest, conjures up images of a hazardous, yet protected retreat. The Buddhist temples, built in 1692 against the edge of a cliff, approximately 915 meters above the valley below, are piled over one another and stand out from the rock in a colorful blend of white, red, and gold.
bear. They're all waiting, the devil may care. And I'm just a devil with one to spare. So viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! I'm running, gonna have me some fun. Yeah, it cost me my very last dime. If I wind up broke, then I'll always remember that I had a swinging time. Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva, Viva Las Vegas!
That was pretty cool to watch. Be amazing to be in the car when he's driving like that. Well, everyone, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by. Sunfish, Trixie, Ronnie, Frankie. Yeah, that's everyone. Alright, everyone, and thanks for everyone that's watching on the replay. Hope everyone takes care of themselves. And I hope to see you again. Alright?